Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to talk about the poem analysis of the poem The Jaguar, the poem which is written by a famous poet named Ted Hughes.
The Jaguar by Ted Hughes. The apes yawn and adore their flares in the sun. The parrots shriek as if they were on fire or stuck, like cheap turfs to attract the stroller with the nuts. Fatigued with insolence, tiger and lion lie still as the sun. The boa constrictor's cold is a fossil. Cage after cage seems empty, or stinks of sleepers from the breathing stove. It might be painted on a nursery wall, but who runs like the rest past this arrives? At a cage where the crowd stands, stares, mesmerized. As a child at a dream, at a jaguar hurrying and raised. Through prison darkness after drillers of his eyes, on a short, fierce fuse, not in a burden. The eyes satisfied to be blind in the fire, by the bang of blood in the brain deaf the ears. He spins from the bars, but theirs is no cage to him. More than to the visionary his sail. His stride is a wilderness of freedom. The world rolls under the long thrust of his heel. Over the cage floor, the horizons.
So now, let's discuss about the form and structure of the poem Jaguar. The poem Jaguar by Ted Hughes is a 6-stanza poem which is separated into sets of 4 lines each. They are known as quatrains. The quatrains of the poem do not follow a specific rhyme scheme, but the poem contains several full rhymes and half rhymes. As it has no fixed rhyme scheme, we can say it has a form of free verse. If we give a close look, we can see the ends of the line 2 and 3 of the first stanza with strut and nut are full, or we can say perfect rhymes, while straw and wall in line 3 and 4 of the second stanza are half rhymed with a long a vowel sound. There is another interesting half rhyme with arrives and mesmerized in line 1 and 2 of the 4th stanza. So that's all about the structure and form of the poem Jaguar.
I am going to present on tone and mode of a poem named The Jaguar. This poem describes the lifestyles of animals at a zoo and their different attitudes in their cage. And here also describes the action of the lazy bored animal to the energetic mood of the jaguar. This poem's tone portrays in strength and admiration. When the jaguar poem starts, we hear about the tiredness and the boredom of the animal. Here the mood starts with drowsiness and depressing way. There is a tone of sympathy felt for the suffering animals in the cage, but in the end, the poem finished with energetic mood and makes this poem more interesting. At the end of this poem, there no way of disturb about the reality that is locked up in a cage. It follows its own imagination and way of life.
Let's talk about the imagery of the poem Jaguar. The definition of animal imagery is the relationship between humans and animals. In this poem, the poet who has visited a zoo describes the worst condition of animals in it by comparing them with lifeless things. By doing so, he tries to expose the brutality of man over other living creatures and finally talks about the enthusiastic jaguar to depict that who of always prevails even among the animals. Now there is a question. Why has the jaguar failed to accept his imprisonment? The jaguar refuses to accept the limitation of his caged freedom. There's no cage to him. His spirit refuses to be subdued by physical captivity. Like a messiah figure, he seems visionary and spontaneous. All other animals are inanimate in comparison. It could be that he will come to accept his imprisonment. We will return to his point later. In the poem The Jaguar, the main theme is the free spirit of a jaguar.
Now, let's talk about the themes and the symbols that we can get from the poem Jaguar. In the poem, the main theme is the free spirit of the jaguar, where it gives us a message that the jaguar itself does not want to remain in the cage. It wants to roam free, just like some people in our society who doesn't want to follow some so-called rules and regulations of the society. Thus, the main theme here gives us a message about the free spirit of the jaguar. Another theme of the poem is resistance, where freedom and resistance, they are both interconnected. The jaguar wants to get free from the cage, but the cage here is the resistance itself. It is just like our society pressure when someone wants to accomplish something and the society pressure becomes the obstacle, just like the resistance. The freedom gets stuck by the resistance, just like the free soul jaguar is resisted inside the cage. Last but not the least, another vital theme of this poem is captivity, where we can see the animals are kept captive inside the cage, where their actual inhabitant is in the open space of the jungle. All these themes are interrelated to each other in every single part of the poem Jaguar. If we speak about the symbols of the poem, the animals are the symbols of different personalities among people, where the jaguar itself is the symbol of rebel. And the people, those who are standing outside the cage, are the people of our society who actually does nothing good for the society. They just sit idly and enjoys what is interesting going around the places. So that's all about the themes and symbol that we can get from the poem Jaguar. That's all for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching this video.